So welcome back to another video of ECK Sports, and today I am back at it with another video, and this time we have got MLW Imperialism. This should be very fun, as I've seen it across a lot of NFL YouTube channels. I've even seen it done with NBA, college football. It's going to work a little bit differently with MLW as it does with something like college football or the NFL, because there's no game to really base it off of like a Madden. Here's how it's going to work. So you have this map. Alright, so now I will explain how this whole thing works with how it works. You guys see the map. Each team is awarded a state. The wheel spin of teams will decide which team will go to attack at a certain point. And that team's move and where they go will be decided by the direction. And if that direction is toward empty state, a state with no team, then that state will be claimed by the team attacking. But if that is a team that they are going toward, then that will be a match. So let's say the Predators go north and the Wildcats are right above them, so then they would play a matchup against the Wildcats. And then for playing matchups, so each team is assigned a certain win total. And the way it works is you have each team's regular season total of wins plus playoff series wins. Diamondbacks had 5 wins in the regular season and 3 playoff wins, which would make 8 total wins in this game. However, the Magic and Gators, I gave them 6 wins so they have a chance. And then the expansion teams were just based on overall success. So these are all the win totals. I gave the Astros and Seahawks also 6 wins because they didn't really do too much in the league. Weren't really that good. Astros had 1 solid year. Seahawks were just kind of mid and bad. The Nighthawks and Cardinals saw a little bit more success. I gave them higher win totals. So that's how this is going to work. So let's say you have Cobras versus Mallards. It's going to be a random number generator type thing, where if you have Cobras versus Mallards, if it is 1 through 11, then the Mallards will win. If it is 12 through 22, the Cobras would win. You see here that it is 13, which means the Cobras would win. So that's pretty much how this works. So without further ado, let's get the real video. Here's the wheel spin. We're going to spin here to see who goes first, and that is going to be the Seahawks. So the Seahawks, of course, based out of Alabama, so you can also expand. And when you do expand states, that will add an extra win. So they're going to be going northwest. Northwest, I mean, you could say that's Tennessee. You could also say that's Mississippi, kind of from their logo. I guess from the state, though, I'll probably give them Tennessee. And then that gives them Tennessee because they expanded. And then another win will be added. So now they're at 7 wins. Let's spin here. And the beginning of this is going to be expansion, mainly, that it's going to get really good. It's going to get really good. So let's see what we have here. We have the Northwest, and this is, of course, for the Gators. It goes through their own state. You could say it goes to Minnesota. I'm going to have them play against the Mallards here. I think that's kind of where I'm going to go with this, because technically that kind of goes into their own state. So I'm just going to have them play with the Mallards here. It's just kind of weird to have them expand northwest to Minnesota and just completely skip Wisconsin. We have the Gators with 6 wins, the Mallards with 11, and the Mallards will take over the Gators territory. Gators were at a pretty big disadvantage, and they will be knocked out, as the Mallards will add themselves a win as well. And we go to the Southern Seahawks once again, as they expanded northwest last time. This time they will expand northeast. So I'm still gonna favor the original state. So going northeast from the original state would give them Georgia. You figure northeast kind of gives you Georgia. From where I put the logo, I just kind of put the logo in a random spot in that state. Guess I can just do that. And they will likely play with the Astros, but the Seahawks with 8 wins. And now we are gonna get the Cardinals. I believe the only way they can go here is to expand, but the question is where. They are gonna go east. The Cardinals gonna go east. That probably gives them Iowa. The Cardinals will expand from Nebraska to Iowa. Could play the Mallards. They put themselves in a better position to do so as they add themselves another win. We have the Pacific Predators. Again, they're pretty much guaranteed to expand, and they're going to be going southwest. And by the way, Alaska and Hawaii are not part of this, so they can't really go southwest, even though actually southwest from California would really be Hawaii. I'm not going to give that to them. Other imperialism maps have not included Hawaii. So the Predators, they're going to be going east. Okay, thank you. That was so close to west, and obviously they can't go west. So going east, yeah, that's probably just Nevada. So I'll just do that. Not sure if I'm going to stick with the logos like this. I really have one of those like 6 softwares where you can color the states and then also add the logos on top of it. So actually, I'm just probably going to add a logo to each state. All right, and that's what I did. So let's continue continue. And now we're going to have the Wildcats going east. All right, northeast. Probably one of the places the Wildcats are in is like only a few of these really work. I mean, northeast, you really can't go northeast. You know what? I'm just going to take the east part out of that because there are really only so many ways that actually work for the Wildcats that tied up in this corner. I mean, you can go south, you can go southeast, you can go east. Anything with a west or a north, you really can't do. So I'm just going to give that to them, even though that really isn't correct, but not really affect too much. So now our next team is the Eagles, and they're going to go south and just expand down to North Carolina and could play the Astros, maybe the Seahawks, maybe the Cobras. I kind of like what's going on here. There might be some matchups set up between the Seahawks, Astros, Cobras, Eagles. Then we have, kind of the Cardinals and Mallards here. And then up in the West, you got the Predators, you got the Wildcats, you got the Nighthawks. The D-backs and the Magic are just kind of by themselves, but I'm sure we will see a lot more actual matchups between two teams very soon. And the Diamondbacks with 8 wins. Of course, I will update Eagles, who now have 11. But the Diamondbacks with 8 wins, I believe, are guaranteed to expand north. And they will expand to Oklahoma, put themselves at 9 wins. And we're going to have the Eagles, could possibly get in a few matchups, west. So west from the Eagles is going to have them play the Seahawks. I know I had them started in Virginia. But west from the Eagles, that's the Seahawks. So the Seahawks have a few states. And the Eagles, if they win, will engulf. Pretty much whoever wins here engulfs the Astros on literally every side. Eagles have 11 wins. Seahawks actually have 8. And the Seahawks are going to take down the Eagles. Big upset. One of the defunct teams knocks out the Eagles and we are down to 10. The Seahawks take over North Carolina and Virginia. Now that we're down to our final 10. Downtown Diamondbacks, who could put themselves in a position to play the Seahawks or the Cardinals. Go northeast. That's definitely a position they can go. Going northeast could either get them, again, it depends on what logo you go from, but I'm gonna favor this logo, and I'm just gonna have them expand to Arkansas. It's not like that affects too much. If you go to Missouri, I mean, you kind of play either team. Like I said, I'm gonna favor this logo. That's where I'm gonna have them expand. The Diamondbacks now have double-digit wins and are set up for a matchup against maybe the Seahawks. The Seahawks could definitely play a matchup here. So the first time the Nighthawks will be selected, they could actually play a matchup right here with the Wildcats if they go west. They're going to go southwest. 11-win Wildcats with the 9-win Nighthawks. Because the Nighthawks are the attacking team, 1 through 9 Nighthawks, and then 10 through 20 will be the Wildcats. The Nighthawks will take down the Wildcats and will also advance to double-digit wins. This will be the Seahawks, who will probably play a team here. There are around 3 teams, and the Seahawks have a lot of territory, so if they are beaten, that would kind of be bad. So, really mean the Astros or the Cobras, but as I've said on countless occasions, I will favor where they started, which is Alabama. South from Alabama is the Panhandle of Florida, which means that they will play the Cobras. Alright, 1 through 9 Seahawks and 10 through 20 Cobras. The Seahawks will win. Cobras knocked out. Seahawks advanced to double-digit wins. And we are down to 8 teams now. Predators, Nighthawks, Cardinals, Diamondbacks, Mallards, Seahawks, Astros, and Magic. So 8 teams, just not the same 8 as real life. All 4 defunct teams are still here, as the Magic being selected for the first time. Magic are pretty much guaranteed an expansion, and they kind of need it. Low in the win totals. And they're going to go southwest from New York. Southwest pretty much gives them Pennsylvania, 1 or 2 states away from the Seahawks. Same with the Mallards. We have the Magic again, going to go south, which is going to give them Maryland. It's kind of a small state. I'm going to say I was going to put the Eagles up in Maine. I don't know. There's just kind of a lot of small states up here that are kind of free for a team like the Eagles, who can easily accumulate wins from easy states like getting Vermont, New Hampshire, and then a team like the Magic who would start off with very low wins. It did not really make sense for me to do that. Magic now with 8. Mallards will be going southeast. The Mallards going to go southeast, which could give them a few different states. If I put this logo here and you go southeast, that probably gives you Ohio. If you go from the middle of the 2 states that they have, that probably gives you Ohio. So I will give them Ohio. They actually share a border with the Magic now. Everyone else seems to be hovering around 10 or 11. And we have the Mallards again, who, like I said, are in a position to play the Magic. And they are going to be going west. So the Mallards going to go west, and they will play the Cardinals. First 13 Mallards, and then 14 through 24 Cardinals. And the Cardinals are going to do it and knock off the Mallards. Cardinals now lead everybody with 12 wins. Or all 4 defunct teams remain. I cannot say I expected this. You know, you have teams with decently high win totals like the Cobras, the Eagles. There were 4 teams this year that had 10 or more wins. And they're all eliminated. Obviously, the Diamondbacks won the World Series, but they only had 5 wins in the regular season. There's still the 4 defunct teams. And then there's the Predators, who had 9 wins. That's kind of just crazy to think about. The Predators, who could play the Nighthawks. This should be interesting. 12 through 21. And the Nighthawks are going to do it. Knock out the Predators, my favorite team, advance to 11 wins. And the defunct teams continue to dominate. Now we are down to 6. And the Magic are going to go northwest. Which, can they really do? Not really. But if you're really going northwest, they end up playing the Cardinals. So we're going to see another matchup here between the 12-win Cardinals and the 8-win Magic. All right, Magic first 8, and then 9 through 20 Cardinals. The Cardinals going to knock out the Magic. Magic actually stayed alive for a long time. Now the Cardinals at 13 wins. The Diamondbacks still remain the only non-defunct team. Maybe this is a sign that all these teams should be out of back. Just say that the Diamondbacks will be selected, and they're going to go north and expanding north to Kansas, adding themselves another win. It's going to be hard for them to do much, but the Nighthawks are selected. Probably going to expand here, and they will go northwest, probably. Yes, and they will. Northwest. I mean, you really can't go northwest. Southeast. That is a spot that they can go. So I'm gonna give them Wyoming. I think that's the smart go. Yeah, I'm gonna give them Wyoming. I could give them Utah. It's kind of between Utah and Wyoming. I could really give them Oregon. But I kind of want to set up some matchups here. And it's not really like the Nighthawks are too far off from the Seahawks, Cardinals, or Diamondbacks. They're actually even ahead of the Diamondbacks and the Seahawks, as the Diamondbacks are selected west. I'm going to have them expand over here. So now you kind of have a 3-way going here. Between those 3, Nighthawks, Diamondbacks, Cardinals. Definitely going to be some matchups over there. And the Astros, who have not been selected in a long time. And I don't even have to spin, because it does not matter what they do. They automatically play the Seahawks. So one of these defunct teams is going to be eliminated. 1 through 6 Astros, 7 through 16 Seahawks. And the Seahawks will take down the Astros. It was going to be an uphill battle for them at only 6 wins. Now the final 4 consists of the Nighthawks, Diamondbacks, Cardinals, and Seahawks. And it's going to be the Diamondbacks. And there's still a couple ways that they can expand. There's a couple ways that they can play a team. And they are going to go west. And they are probably, they're going to go and expand. They are going to go and expand. Last time I had them expand from Kansas. This time I'll have them expand from where they started, which is Texas. And that doesn't really make too big of a difference, because if you go northwest or even west, then you probably still end up playing the Nighthawks. So Diamondbacks 13 wins. This is going to get interesting, as we are in our final 4. And we have the Diamondbacks again, and they're going to go south. Can they really go south, though? They can, yeah. Going south works. They still have Louisiana that they can get, which is going south. The Seahawks. The Seahawks are last right now for remaining teams and wins. They're going to go northwest. And northwest, that does not really give you the Diamondbacks. I either give them Missouri or Kentucky. Northwest, I would say probably the middle of this is here. They did start here. I think I'm going to have them expand to Missouri. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have them expand to Missouri. That's kind of going northwest from their midpoint. The middle of the United States is all filled with teams. And that also gets the Seahawks another win. This is close. I don't really see any real favorite. All these teams are close in wins. All these teams are close in pretty much everything. And the Diamondbacks are going to go and probably play a team. team. It would be hard for them not to. I don't really see where they can expand. They are going to go east, and going east would obviously have them play the Seahawks. First 14 Diamondbacks, 15 through 26 Seahawks. The Seahawks are going to take down the Diamondbacks, and now the 3 teams left are all defunct teams. All right, here's your look at your updated map with all 3 teams that are still in this: the Nighthawks, the Seahawks, and the Cardinals. So we are down to 3, and we might only have 2 more wheel spins left. The Seahawks are going to be chosen. And by the way, before you see, I'm going to go from where they started. If they go west, pretty much anything with west is going to have them play the Nighthawks. If it's north, northeast, going to play the Cardinals. And they are going to go west and play the Nighthawks. Seahawks versus Nighthawks. You want the matchups, could have them expand. It's very even. 13 wins versus 12. And the Nighthawks are going to the final round against the Cardinals. Alright, folks, comment below before you see who wins it. Who will win between the Nighthawks and the Cardinals? It's as even as possible. Both are 13 wins. I could decide this by the wheel spin, but I've been deciding this whole thing. What the wheel spin will decide is who gets 1 through 13. So whoever it lands on will get 1 through 13. And that will be the Cardinals getting 1 through 13. And then 14 through 26. The Nighthawks. The Nighthawks will take down the Cardinals and are your MLW Imperialism champs. I hope to do more of these in the future. For this time, the Nighthawks will own all 50 states. Some of the states were never taken by any team, but the Nighthawks will own the United States. No longer exist. Maybe they should bring them back. I know you're watching, Robin. I know you're watching. Biggest Nighthawks fan you'll ever see. Shout out to Robin. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.